Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I appreciate you jumping on. Do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button because it certainly helps the channel. Today, we are going to talk about XRP versus RLUSD, the simple breakdown everyone needs to understand. RLUSD, of course, being the stablecoin of Ripple. And there's a lot of confusion out there around Ripple having using both XRP and RLUSD. Before we dive into that, let's take a look at pricing. Bitcoin up slightly here, up 1%, or up 6% in the last 24 hours, actually, to 67,895, getting up towards 68,000. Ethereum up 9.68% to 2,032. And XRP up 6.56% in the last 24 hours to $1.44, almost $1.45. Are things changing here? It's very, very little change, but hey, at least we're moving in a positive direction here. So let's take a look at XRP versus RLUSD. If you're into crypto, especially XRP, you've probably seen the buzz around Ripple's new stablecoin called RLUSD. A lot of new viewers ask me, is RLUSD just XRP with a different name, or is it something totally different? Today I'm breaking it down super simply, no jargon, no hype, so even your grandma who's never bought Bitcoin could follow along. We'll cover what each one is, why they're completely different, their real-world use cases, and most importantly, how RLUSD actually helps XRP get even stronger. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and the bell. We talk XRP, Bitcoin, and the big coins every week. Let's dive in. What is XRP? You can see here the dollars flying throughout the world. Imagine the XRP ledger. That's the blockchain XRP lives on, as a super highway built specifically for moving money around the world. It's lightning fast, transactions settle in 3 to 5 seconds, and cost less than a penny in fees. XRP itself is the native token of that highway. Think of it like the special electronic toll pass you need to zoom throughout without stopping. Banks and payment companies use XRP as a bridge asset. Here's an example. You're in the US and want to send $10,000 to your family in Mexico. Normally, banks use slow, expensive middlemen, sometimes referred to as correspondent banks, that take days and eat 5 to 10% in fees. With XRP, you convert dollars to XRP for a split second, shoot it across the highway, and it converts straight into pesos on the other side. No middleman, almost no fees, and done in seconds. XRP's price moves up and down like any crypto. It's volatile because it's traded on the open market. That's why it's great for bridging different currencies, but not ideal if you want to hold stable dollars. So, moving on here. RLUSD, Ripple USD, is completely different. It's a stable coin, which just means its value is designed to stay pegged exactly to $1 US 24/7. How? Every single RLUSD is backed 1-to-1 by real US dollars, US treasuries, and super safe cash equivalents held in regulated banks, currently including BNY Mellon. That might be the oldest bank there is. Ripple publishes monthly independent audits, so everyone can see the reserves are at 100%. It's fully regulated by the New York Department of Financial Services, the same folks who oversee the big banks. You can think of RLUSD as a digital cash, a digital version of a dollar bill that lives on the blockchain. It's issued natively on the XRP ledger and Ethereum. So it works in both worlds, which is terrific. We're going to talk about some key differences, but before we do that, let's bring in a post here from Smoke Dog, because he's talking about XRP is poised to directly benefit from the accelerating demand for RLUSD. As RLUSD adoption accelerates, he says, it is expected to attract new DeFi protocols, payment partners, and enterprise integrations to the XRP ledger, further boosting network activity and driving sustained demand for XRP. And he documents everything that he posts on X. He does a great job. So if you're not following Smoke Dog, make sure you do that. And then here is a video from Masan Verseless. He says, here's why Ripple stablecoin RLUSD on the XRP ledger is super bullish. All you need to know. Let's take a listen to Masan here.
The official Ripple stablecoin RLUSD is coming very soon to the XRP ledger. They just got their final approval from the NYDFS, and here's everything you need to know about why this is actually bullish for XRP, because that's what we care about. RLUSD is $1 forever. It doesn't move. It is a stable coin. On the other hand, you have the XRP asset, which can increase in value, and we want to see it go to $5 and beyond. Here's a few things. Brad Garlinghouse himself, the Ripple CEO, says RLUSD helps the overall XRP ledger ecosystem because it adds liquidity on the ledger. So now when you take profits on your XRP, you can take them into the Ripple stablecoin perfectly fine. Other thing that I said here is imagine that the Ripple stablecoin gets a contract on HBAR, because you can have different stablecoins on top of different networks. So for example, in the future, maybe they get a contract on Hedera and RLUSD can be sent across the Hedera network. We also...
I'm going to stop it there because he's right. And since this video is a little older, December 13, 2024. However, the point is made there, why it's going to be bullish for the XRP ledger. And to his point, since then, they've already accepted RLUSD on Binance and will be using it there. So that is absolutely terrific news. So let's take a look at the key differences between the two, RLUSD and XRP. Straight from Ripple's own website, here's what they say. XRP is the native cryptocurrency of the XRP ledger. It was designed as a bridge asset for fast, low-cost, cross-border transactions. Its value is determined by the open market. That's the quote directly from their website. They go on to say, RLUSD is the US dollar-backed stablecoin from Ripple. It's issued one-to-one against reserves like cash and treasuries. RLUSD is regulated and maintains a stable value tied to the US dollar. That makes it useful for payments and settlements that require price stability. In plain English, XRP equals volatile but powerful bridge, like gas for the car. RLUSD, stable dollar, like the actual cargo you're carrying, is an example that I was given. They are not competitors. They're teammates on the same team, and that's where people get confused. So here's some real world scenarios that we can talk about, and you can picture it. XRP's superpower, if you will, when you need to move value between different currencies, say euro to yen, Mexican pesos to Philippine peso. XRP acts as the neutral middleman that's always available and super cheap. This is what Ripple on-demand liquidity product does for banks and payment companies right now. RLUSD's superpower, when you want stability, sending $5,000 to a freelancer in another country, use RLUSD, they receive exactly $5,000 worth, no surprise price swings. Holding money on that blockchain without worrying about a 20% crash overnight. DeFi on the XRP ledger, put RLUSD in liquidity pools and earn yield, or use it even for lending. Merchants accepting payments, they get stable dollars instantly instead of volatile crypto. A perfect combination, a perfect combo example, a company in Europe wants to pay suppliers in Asia in local currency. They load RLUSD stable dollars, convert to XRP for the bridge across the ocean, then convert straight to the local currency on the other side. It's fast, cheap, and the sender and receiver never had to touch volatile XRP if they didn't want to. So, how does RLUSD actually help XRP? Here's what a lot of people miss. RLUSD is rocket fuel for XRP. Every time someone uses RLUSD on the XRP ledger, they pay a tiny fee in XRP. Those fees get burned forever, reducing the total supply of XRP over time. More RLUSD users equals more transactions on the ledger, which equals more XRP burned, which equals potential scarcity boost. But even bigger, RLUSD brings new people and institutions onto the XRP ledger who might have never touched crypto before. Banks and companies that want stable dollars now have a compliant, regulated option on the same fast highway where XRP lives. Once they're in the ecosystem, they start discovering XRP's bridging power, and they're going to like it. As one popular explanation on X put it, think of RLUSD as digital cash for dollars and XRP as the global courier that connects everyone. They work together. Another favorite has been XRP is super fast delivery truck and RLUSD is the digital money it carries safely. We are already seeing it. RLUSD trading pairs with XRP in exchanges, liquidity pools in the XRPLs, built-in DEX, and institutions using both in the same flows. More activity on the ledger means more demand for XRP and the bridge and the fuel. So this is big, and if you understand this, it's going to help you a great deal when you're dealing with XRP and RLUSD. So if you've been holding XRP, RLUSD, it actually is great news. It's bringing more volume, more users, and more utility to your asset. What do you think? Are you adding RLUSD to your portfolio or sticking to pure XRP? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. If this helped clear things up, smash that like button, share with a friend who's confused about stablecoins, and subscribe for more simple crypto explanations. Appreciate you watching. Watch it over again. There's a lot to take in, a lot to understand, especially if you're new to crypto. Viewing it a few times will certainly help, but appreciate your support. And we will talk to you on the next one.